when you come to chapter 11 of Isaiah, one of the greatest passages on the Millennium is found right here. But it starts out with David, with the Ben David. And he is depicted as a rod, as a branch. The word netzer is used. And of course, we're talking about the stem, the stump, the stalk, the tree stump of Yishai, the father of David, the dynasty of David seems to be somewhat interrupted as far as the throne is concerned. But then, out of nowhere, there is a shoot that springs up. The word Zemach is used in many places in the Tanakh. And we want to thank the Lord for this, because it says a rod will come out of the tree stump of Yishai, of Jesse, and a branch, a netzer, from his root will spring up. The word is semach, like a shoot, will spring up, and that's what happens. Now, this is not an unrelated or tangential little vignette about David that has nothing to do with the rest of the book. Oh no, when you get to the second verse in Isaiah 53, it does spring up like a root out of dry ground. And we know that this Mashiach, this Savior, that Isaiah 53 talks about, is the Ben David. And then when we see this Ben David, the Spirit of the Lord is upon him. We're talking about the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord, the equity, the fairness, the glory of this king, his personal righteousness. He is the Sar Shalom. Again, you're going to see that in chapter 9. But here we see the Millennium, starting in verse 6. Even wild animals will submit to Moshiach's rule. A nursing child will be able to play by the hole of a cobra or an asp, a poisonous snake. And here you have these glorious ideal conditions of the millennial kingdom. And but in chapter 11, verse 10, the Messiah becomes like a banner, attracting the nations to himself. All over the world, the nations are turning to Moshiach ben David. If you try to come up with another Messiah and say that he will attract the nations, you are not only a false prophet, but you're a very deluded person who doesn't know anything. The Lord will regather the remnant of his people from all directions. And we know that there will be a streaming. The Lord will dry up the land so that people can stream in a big highway to the Moshiach. And Babylon will be judged. We see the prophesying of the Medo-Persian destruction of Babylon, starting in chapter 13. And then something is presented there that even goes beyond that, where you have to keep reading all the way to Revelation, chapter 17 and 18, to see this end time Babylon being destroyed and the great tribulation that occurs. And then when you look at this Tzemach, you're told by Zechariah that he is the Messiah, and a man whose name is Jesus, Yeshua, Yehoshua ben Yehotzadok, this post-exilic Kohen Gadol returning from the Golas in Babylon, building the Beis Hamikdash in Jerusalem. He is approached by the prophet, and the prophet says, "You're the namesake of the Messiah. Your name is the Tzemach." So we know that the Tzemach that is spoken of in chapter 11, I'm talking about the Moshiach, the root of Yishai that springs up not only in chapter 11, but also in chapter 53, that this is called Tzemach Tzaddik, Jeremiah 23. And Zechariah says, with this code word for Moshiach, the Savior, he says, your name, Yeshua, he says, your name, Jesus, is the Christ. It's basically what the code language is saying. But you have to study the Bible to see this. It's not something that a cursory reading of the Bible will help you to digest. You have to want to know the truth, and you have to desire to humble your heart and ask God to show you the truth. Moshiach ben David, come into my heart, forgive my sins, take control of my life. I trust you, Lord. I see that truly I had to be ransomed. I had to be delivered. I had to be bought back. My sins had to be atoned for. I had to be purchased from my enslavement. The slave had to be manumitted, which meant money, but in this case, something more precious than silver and gold, the blood of the Lamb, what gets us out of bondage, out of Egypt, out of slavery. The blood, the little lamb whose blood is on the doorposts, makes the angel of death skip your house. The firstborn thereof do not perish, and you are able to go to freedom and to escape the judgment, the wrath, the fury of a God who will judge sinners. Lord, come into my heart, forgive my sins, take control of my life. Help me to serve you, Lord, and follow you all the days of my life, that I might dwell in the New Jerusalem, that I might see the glories of the Millennium and the new age. I'm talking about the new heavens and the new earth. And we'll give you all the praise. Moshiach ben David, come into my heart, forgive my sins. We will serve you and follow you all the days of our life.